Everybody look on the screen. We've got Dr. Konig, Mr. and Mrs. Konig. He is the doctor, Maui, Hawaii. Is found guilty. Manslaughter, I'm not understanding. So this clearly to me was one of, I think he attempted an Alpine divorce. I really do. Taking her on a hike. So let's go ahead and listen. He basically was seen by two other hikers, two women, hitting her in the head with a rock. There was blood all over her face. But hey, he's claiming self defense. Yeah. And this seems to come from a fact that, according to him, she allegedly had an emotional affair. So I guess an emotional affair, ladies, equates to death. Let's listen to this news clip. I just knew he was going to be found guilty. Self defense, no one's buying it. But manslaughter, I think it should be murder, attempted murder. That's what I think.
The jury in this case finds the defendant guilty. This morning, a guilty verdict in the case of Hawaii doctor Gerhard Konig, a jury convicting the Maui anesthesiologist of attempted manslaughter based on extreme mental or emotional disturbance for trying to kill his wife Ariel on her birthday. He faces up to 20 years in prison when he's sentenced.
Dr. Konig, the verdict of the jury is indeed unanimous.
The 47-year-old appearing emotional as the verdict was read.
We hope that the verdict today brings Ariel the next step into closure.
But the defense vowing the fight isn't over.
We look forward to an appeal.
The jury of 7 women and 5 men deliberating for about 8 hours. The foreperson telling NBC News why they ultimately chose not to convict Konig of the most serious charge, second-degree attempted murder.
We felt that with the language presented in our instructions that the definition of attempted murder was not fully met by the evidence shown.
The case centered around a violent altercation last year at the top of this scenic hiking trail in Oahu. Prosecutors alleging Dr. Konig, outraged by his wife's so-called emotional affair with a coworker, tried to push her off this steep cliff, attempted to inject her with a syringe, and bashed her head repeatedly with a rock. This body camera footage showed during the trial shows the moment 2 hikers said they intervened after hearing Ariel's screams.
I'm screaming and he's telling me, shut the up. Nobody's going to hear you out here. Nobody's coming to save you.
But Dr. Konig told the jury a different version of events, saying it was actually Ariel that initially attacked him.
When you hit her with the rock twice, why did you do it?
In self-defense.
One of the most explosive moments of the trial came when Konig's own 20-year-old son testified he believed his father was trying to kill his stepmom.
Is there any doubt in your mind about the defendant telling you he tried to kill Ariel?
No.
But the foreperson says the jury ultimately made their decision based on the testimony of Ariel and Dr. Konig.
They were the only 2 involved.
Now, the defense did release a statement saying while they plan to appeal this decision, they are relieved Dr. Konig is no longer facing life in prison. In fact, they say probation is a possible sentence for the attempted manslaughter charge. However, the prosecution says they will request prison time. The judge has set Dr. Konig's sentencing for mid-August.
Listen, this right here was an Alpine divorce, I think, my opinion. This is an Alpine divorce that went wrong. He planned the hike. It sounds premeditated. Probation, you gotta be kidding me. And I hate to say this. I was talking to a friend of mine. I said, not to insult the jury, but a lot of times, people, they get wrapped up in titles. Yeah. Wrapped up in titles. And I think if he was a regular person, it would easily be sent as murder. But let me guess, we don't want to send the good doctor to jail, to prison. Listen, he's an anesthesiologist. So what was in the syringe, we don't know, but we know he knows how to put people under. I think it was an Alpine divorce gone wrong. The fact that those women were there and they saw him hitting her in the head with that rock. Are you kidding me? Why would he hit her in the head with the rock and try to allegedly push her over the cliff? There was even a sign that said warning. It was hazardous. You could fall off the cliff. There was a warning sign there. So he got a rock and the syringe. I think he planned this premeditated, the Alpine divorce. I think the jury just doesn't want to send a doctor to jail. Some people get stuck up on titles. I kid you not. I kid you not. But this here, not that she had a physical affair, but an emotional affair. So let's understand that an emotional affair. So I guess that entitled her to be, I guess, worthy of death. Your ego is that bruised. There's some other doctor on the internet. He's talking about, oh, he's had an affair and it's resulted in a child, and he's given a statement. Wow. And I thought, did it ever occur to him how that you're coming out with it to the public? I'm sure people know in the community, but you got it on the internet now. Look at the humiliation for the wife and the children. And you're supposed to just work through this. Wow. And enough an affair, but you have a baby through it all? The entitlement of men. Oh, she had an emotional affair. And the wife even said that she was telling him, hey, don't do this. Our kids are going to be orphans. They're going to be without parents. Do not do this. I think it's Alpine divorce gone wrong. I think that was his plan, and Alpine divorce gone wrong. And now this right here, I don't see him getting a lot of time in prison. I really don't. So your ego being bruised. A lot of men, are you kidding? They be having affairs, babies left and right, professionals, babies by strippers, dancers, strangers, co-workers, people that work for them all the time. And the women are expected just to be there. But now an emotional affair, and I guess he deemed it worthy of death. If he goes to prison, she should, of course, just go ahead and just file for divorce. But I'm kind of wondering if that might be off the table because, again, I'm like, I just don't see how it would not be murder. I don't understand that. Be quiet. No one's going to hear you. Hitting her in the head with a rock and then claim self-defense. Why did you come with a syringe on a hiking trip? And even that wasn't thought out because let's say even if she had fallen off the cliff, they would do an autopsy, but you never know. Maybe he would work around that. Oh, I'm just going to do a cremation. They would have found something in her system if she had fallen off the cliff, and let's say he injected something into her body, made her unconscious. It would have been found in her blood system, I would imagine. This to me is about control, subjugation. How dare you humiliate me? I'm the doctor and you're not. She's wife number two, stepmom. You got a little chip on your shoulder. This doesn't happen to me. An emotional affair is so you try to unalive her via Alpine divorce over what you deem as an emotional affair? Are you kidding me? And now everything will pretty much be in ruins. Especially if he goes to prison. She may lose the house. I mean, you never know. But the money spent, this is crazy. So how he thought he was going to end up not getting away, I just knew he was going to be found guilty. Nobody was buying it, especially with those women that called 911 and they played the phone call. His own son saying he felt he was trying to kill her. So I just think the jury, I think it may be those people who get caught up on titles. Oh, he's a good doctor. We can't do it. Really shocking. So let me think what you know about this verdict. Think about the audacity of men because she allegedly had an emotional affair and he clearly defined that to mean that she's worthy of death. Dangerous and scary and dusty at the same time. The dangerous, dusty doctor is how I see this guy. Let me know what you all think. What do you think he should get? He should get some serious time. Because man, and the sad thing is, if they give him probation, which I cannot imagine, he should get some serious time. Because if not, he could do this to another woman. And trust me, it'll be some desperate chick lined up. Well, that was her. She didn't know how to treat him. It won't be me. Yeah. So Alpine divorce gone wrong. And I'm out.